2, ready, in. Hey, let's try this again. I think we did this just a couple months ago. How about those Jays? I'd like to thank all of you for attending our welcome home tonight, not just for our state championship baseball team, but also our state long jumper, Lila Jackson. Congratulations. At this time, I'm going to call Mr. Stanhope. He's going to lead us in prayer and give us
Shody, pretty strong convocation this week, so I guess let's pray together, please. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, thank you so much for this time to be together to celebrate these young student athletes, coaches, families, and all involved in our community. Thank you for such a great school year. Thank you for such great accomplishments that you allowed us to have, for all the help and safe travels that you've given our community throughout these seasons. We just ask your continued blessing upon our community and ask you to enjoy our time together to celebrate and give all glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Our Lady, Queen of Victory. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. Yeah. Echoing Coach and congratulating everyone, Lila, the baseball team. Just want to give a special shout out to all the coaches involved. Coach Shody, Coach Chabot, our athletic director, assistant athletic director. We think back and we recognize the accomplishments, obviously, of the student athletes, but everybody behind the scenes, Megan and Tiffany again. I'm sure all those thank yous will be echoed again. I just appreciate everybody's work. A rainy spring, so I know the scheduling wasn't always easy. Coach Jackson, congratulations. The last full conversation I think we had was under that basket a couple months ago, talking about this day. So, congrats. Very happy for you and all the time you put in. I know the baseball staff, track coaching staff, you guys put up with a heck of a spring, all of the things that go on in school, our senior retreat, class trip, mission society, service trip, and you guys just persevere through everything. Student athletes, I know it's a challenge for you guys in your season, and the training that you put in. So the virtues that you show, the determination, the perseverance, and then to end in the joy of championships, I think makes it really all worth it. So just very proud of you. I do, ask and encourage everyone. Our seniors, I want to especially congratulate you as well. It probably seemed like I talked to a few of you throughout that tournament run, like, oh, we're not even out of school yet. We're going to practice every day. So I hope you've got a chance to start to enjoy that graduation. And I'm sure coaches will come up and recognize a lot of the individual work of these seniors, but being a baseball fan, just seeing you guys, it seemed like every game Tyson's making a spectacular play to finish the game, and we had, I think about Dylan and Colton always smiling in their role and being great leaders. Evan and Hank, they get on base. Every time they're on base, they score a run. For Maddox to end the tournament the way he did, just our seniors making plays all over the place. Just very proud of you and thankful for your leadership, not only on the diamond, but in the school, throughout the school this year, throughout the school year. So congratulations. Stay humble, hungry, smart in all that you do. Younger students as well. May your championships lead you closer to God as well, and all the gifts and talents and that He has blessed you with. Special thank you again for the legacy of hard work and commitment and loyalty, especially that our seniors have passed on to our younger Blue Jays. I see some things to get signed again today. I'm not sure what some of the parents are going to do with all those baseballs and basketballs and things that have been signed throughout the year, about 15 years. You guys are going to come back at the benefit auction maybe and buy those back in 15 years. Maybe that was a suggestion. So, thank you lastly to our community. Even driving here tonight, I was getting some gas, and I see on the signs all over, congratulations to our state championships, go Jays. So our community sport, it's the end of June, and we have a great crowd here tonight to celebrate you guys. So can't say enough about our community as well. So thank you for the support along the way. Congratulations again to everyone involved. Go Jays.
Thank you, Mr. Stanton. At this time, I'll be calling up our junior high school principal, Mr. Lee. The 2-4-6-8 Blue Jays win state again and again and again. Congratulations. So we gather here tonight to celebrate the amazing accomplishments of our two athletic programs, baseball and track. Two programs that have a long history, and that history continues with the time and dedication of athletes, coaches, and you, our Blue Jay family. So first, congratulations to Lila Jackson. She competed in the 4x1 and the 300-meter hurdle at state and picked up right where she left off from her championship in indoor track to a long jump state championship. Congratulations. So Lila pours her heart and soul into everything that she does, showing each and every one of us that hard work, commitment, and most importantly, passion for what you love will lead to great things. Lila, congratulations on this amazing accomplishment and continue our strong tradition of excellence in track and field. Please stay out of bounds. Congratulations. Congratulations to this team of extraordinary young men on their tremendous season. A season that brought home a sectional, district, regional, and state championship. A team that will go down in the rich history of St. John's as one of the best baseball teams to ever walk these halls and take the field during the football. These accomplishments that future generations of Blue Jays will look to for inspiration. I remember talking to Drake before the season, asking him about the outlook of what the season was going to look like. Drake, do you remember this? No, I just said I don't know what you're going to say. So, I'm going to tell you what you said. Without hesitation, he said we're going to be the running state. And he was not wrong. With confidence like this, senior leadership throughout the year, they achieved this goal and more. Congratulations to these men on earning their first ever baseball state championship. To all of our assistant coaches for both baseball and track, thank you for all you do for our student athletes. Your dedication time you sacrifice away from your family and your personal life to devote to this school and these athletes is a true blessing. Thank you again to all of our assistant coaches. A big thank you to Coach Metcalf, our track coaches as well, for leading our track program for our students and their development, continuing that tradition of excellence for our athletes who aspire to provide success. Coach Jackson, it was an honor coaching football with you all those years. And though I'm sad to see you go, moving on to your passion for baseball has proved that you made the right decision for yourself and our school, leading these young men to memories that will last a lifetime. You have reached the mountaintop, celebrated the success that most of it was only dream of. Thank you, Coach Jackson, for always being a Blue Jay, but also being a great friend. Congratulations. In closing, we'd just like to take a minute to express how proud we are of Lila and these young, incredible men. They have given every inch of their soul to the success of their seasons. They have been part of the Blue Jay program and athletics for many years. Moreover, they've achieved a level of success that others can look to for years to come. As Blue Jays, we do not take the easy path. We work hard for everything we earn, as nothing is ever given to us. And these athletes, this school, this family, have earned the right to be called champions. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Just a couple of thank yous on behalf of the athletic department. First, Megan, all the information that you guys receive through Line, Facebook, that's Megan doing a good job. She does a great job as a third basketball team. She's my right hand person. I'd also like to thank you, our fans. Wherever we travel, we have the biggest fans from basketball to baseball. We're down at Track State. We have a good contingent down there. So thank you for supporting our athletes. Unless you're really in it and you see it every day, you don't know how much these young men and women put in on a daily basis. And for you to show up and support on a Tuesday night, Thursday, wherever we're at, going, driving, it doesn't matter. Our people will show. People talk about that. They're very impressed with the Blue Jays are coming. Even though Cedarville doesn't know how to pop popcorn enough popcorn for the Blue Jays, next time around they'll get that. Ben didn't have a very good night with popcorn. Yes, for Ben. So, thank you. We appreciate it very much. Your support is awesome. I'd like to thank all of our athletes sitting here again. The dedication you give is not easy. You have to sacrifice some things to get where you want to be. And what a great lesson to learn of, because that's life. So appreciate your time and dedication. And same to our coaches. Sometimes it's a pretty thankless job. You don't do it to get rich. You do it because you got a passion and love for the sport and for the young men and women around you. So thank you very much to all of our coaches and our athletes up here. With that being said, Coach Metcalf is out on vacation this week, so Coach Knott was gracious enough to be here tonight to come up and say a few words on behalf of track partners. Coach Knott.
Thank you, Coach Julie. As the distance guy, I'm probably the last person that should be up here talking about Lila Jackson. As a track program, it kind of takes a village to coach our athletes. There are so many specialties from sprints to pole vault, throws, jumps. That I wanted to just take a second to thank all the coaches and all the volunteers that are involved in our track program. And so, first of all, Archie and Tim Metcalf can kind of take on that role of head coaching and making sure that we're registered in all the events and lineups. Our sprint coaches, Tessa Jackson, Jackie Witt, Amber Miller is here tonight, Coach Bittner. Our pole vault coaches, Coach Dave, Coach Katie, my basketball bus down to Fort Worth or something like that. And one or two things stuck out to me that basketball game that I went to. And it wasn't Andrew and Jackson and David and Duncan and all you guys playing basketball. So, there was a cheerleader that tumbled across the floor that night with power and speed that are rare. And that was Lila. And I remember seeing that, and it turns out, obviously, that those fast twitch muscles developed through dance and tumbling and playing soccer can translate pretty well to the track. And so Lila had good success in junior high and her freshman and sophomore years in track. But I think something changed a little bit at the end of last year and this year in track. And I don't know if it was kind of being motivated by not making the podium in the 4x1 last year at state, or seeing some early success in the indoor season this year. But it was noticeable this spring season that Lila was putting in extra work. Whether it was coming before practice, working on her hurdles, staying after practice, working on the jumps. It was very noticeable that she was putting in extra to go to that next level. And so since Archie is on vacation, I asked him last night, I said, is there anything you want me to share with the crowd tonight? And he said this. He said it was evident that Lila worked extra hard this year to be ready for all of her events. And it was a joy to watch her get into a zone at the end of the year and to win that state championship. And I can echo those statements. To put in perspective, her state championship jump of 18 feet 1 1/4 inches would put her on the podium in any division in the state, from Division 1 all the way up to our division in Division 5. Also in relationship to the only other state champion that we've had in school history, Alyssa Anthony. Alyssa won state as a junior with a jump of 18 feet 5 inches, I believe. Right? And so that puts Lila in very rare company. So just in kind of closing today, over the last 3 years, the track program's put a state runner-up, a third-place relay team, and then 2 state champions over the last 2 years. And so with Drew last year as the state champion in the high jump, and now Lila as the state champion in the long jump, I'm very proud of the direction that our track program is headed, and I'm very excited to see what Lila accomplishes next year as a senior. So with that, I would like to bring Lila up to.
First of all, I just want to congratulate the group of boys listening to me. You guys are so hardworking and so deserving for your state win. Now, I want to thank the school, my teachers, coaches, teammates, family, friends, and everyone who supported me throughout the season. As well, I want to give a huge thank you to Arrow for making our post-season shirts. Being welcomed home like this is truly special, and I'm very grateful for all the encouragement I've received. Many people to my results, setting the school record in the 300-meter hurdles with a time of 45 seconds, 2 regional titles, and qualifying for the state meet in 100-meter dash, 4x100-meter relay, 300 hurdles, and the long jump. Placed 6th in the 300-meter hurdles, 12th in the 100-meter dash, 13th, 4x100-meter relay, with Bridget 11th marathon. And then I won a state championship in long jump. But what they don't see is everything that happened behind the scenes to make this accomplishment possible. This season has taught me that success is about consistency. It's about showing up every day, trusting the process, and doing the little things correct. There were days when practices were difficult, days when the weather wasn't ideal, days when I didn't perform the way that I wanted to. But every challenge became an opportunity to improve and get a little bit better each day. Early in the season, I battled with the shin splints that caused me to sit out. Then, towards the end of the season, I sprained my ankle during practice racing races. This was a major setback that taught me to persevere through my injury and work for a team. I also learned that no one achieves success alone. To my coach, John Mullins. Thank you so much for meeting me, for always telling me to just jump. To Bob Lindemann, Tim, Archie, Jack, Vic, Cameron Herman, Mr. Cobb, and my mom. Thank you for the countless hours you spent helping me to improve. To my teammates, you guys push me to be better every day and always help me have a smile on your face. To my family, you guys made sacrifices so I could continue to pursue my goals. You never missed a single track. Whether there was a tornado, snow, or sun, you guys were always there cheering me and my team on. Your support made a huge difference and helped me to believe in myself and take a step back. Finally, as the teammate who couldn't be here today, I changed my whole perspective on the word grit. Ava Ritchie. You were truly my inspiration. You never failed to make the whole crowd laugh while cutting through a tornado. Although Ava was injured, she continued to show up every single day with a smile on her face and ready to help. Her hard work never went unnoticed. Ava and I have been on the same relay team since junior high. Together, we went to state 2 times my freshman year, and we brought home 3rd place finish. I wish we could have one more season together, but unfortunately, we don't. So I just wanted to thank everyone again for all the support on my team.
Thank you, Ryan. So, probably a good month ago, her dad told me, like, Lila's going to put a banner up in the gym. And I said, good. We like to put banners up in our gym, so tomorrow, don't worry, they're coming in, we're going to get every drawing moving on the banners before you know it, all those banners will be up there for everybody. Again, so that's why we can't take it away. That's fun. So, moving on here to baseball. So, a little known story about Coach Jackson. Coach Jackson and I grew up. We spent a lot of time around each other, softball games, football games. But we had a conversation, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago. And he still makes his statement. He coached me as an 8-year-old at T-ball 40 some odd years ago. And he has made the statement, Andrew, since you're the main shortstop here, he said I was the best shortstop he ever coached. Coming from Coach Jackson, I take it for what it's worth. He knew what he was talking about, obviously. Right? Coach Jackson, he's been in baseball for a really long time. He's been the St. John's Blue Jay actor for a really long time. From coaching football to moving on to baseball. He's always been a part of the program here and just a constant presence in and out of this building. I know it gets close to baseball because Coach Jackson at least stops in 12 times a day. Talk about what he did with baseball. Might have been a little bit of an exaggeration, but he's in quite a bit. He's very passionate about the sport. Great job on the baseball program. Coach Jackson told you after the game, state champion now, puts on forever, enjoy it, smile every day, think about that because it doesn't happen every day. This time we're going to have Coach Jackson come up and say a few words.
I'm usually pretty quick about speeches. Time for everybody to go to sleep. What a ride. Right, guys? What a ride. And something that for sure we will always remember. You know, when the season ended last Saturday, all the excitement, the joy of just being state champions was real. But it ended our season, which I'm hoping we can just keep playing. The way this team was playing, I don't think anybody out there could beat us. Right, guys? Good job. I'm just so proud of these guys. We got a late start this year with basketball. And I read an article today, the Lyman News. I finally got a copy of it. And it was 84 days. You guys read that? Basketball championship to baseball championship. So I didn't think it was that 84 days would fly so fast, but it did. But it's amazing just to have that success roll over into baseball as it did. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year, we had something special here. We knew what we had from last year in our loss to Minster in the district finals. I knew what we had coming back. This team could win it all. But we had to work at it. It wasn't going to be given. We earned it. And I know these guys, I told them all year long, we had a plan. And we wanted to basically stay on task and stay locked in. And being locked in is just showing up to practice. Practice like you're going to play in the game. And these guys stay focused. It's hard to put it into words, but these guys had a plan. They knew it. I'll go through that here in a little bit when I talk about the season a little bit. Just so grateful to have a group of guys that enjoy playing the game of baseball. Now, first of all, I'd like to start off with some thank yous. Just a lot of people behind the scenes kind of help out that need to be spoken about. And that's my good friend Todd Sholey. Thank you. I do see him a lot. I do call him a lot. I got him on speed dial. He's one of my top guys right here. When I bring up my list of contacts, he's the top. Well, my wife is next. Adam Lee, thank you to a good friend. I coached with these two guys for 12 years. And, they taught me a lot. They put me in a spot. To be a good coach and to love the sport. So thank you. And I for sure wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Todd Sholey asking me to be a football coach. Well, no one knows this too, but I was asked to be a basketball coach. JV coach at the time. That was the same year that I took over baseball program. I couldn't do two sports. I was already coaching football for 2 years and baseball at the same time. So I had to give something up, and I wanted to take over something that was precious and something true to my heart. Also to Kelly Hershey, thank you for the time. I know I get a hold of you a lot. Time if I can find a kid. Some free time just to hey, give me 10 minutes after lunch. What time do I have to be there? So there's times I have to contact Kelly to get some time. To Coach Elmer, also thank you for the time, helping through some of the things I needed throughout the season. So thank you. Tom Lane, I know he's not here. He's on vacation. But that guy works his butt off. Not only did he help take care of these guys' arms, ankles, any soreness, he was always there. And then I found out how hard he works behind the scenes at the hotel. And that guy he wants to know where the ice machine's at, he wants to know where the water fountain is. How can I fill up these jugs? That guy, he's been, how long is it? 30 years. That's amazing. Also, a big shout out to Joe Bolton. Thank you for making these guys bigger and stronger, faster. You're a big asset to our sports program here in St. John's. I got here on my list Father Thunder. I know he's not here, but he was a big inspiration in the state tournament. I think he wanted to wear the uniform, but he had to wear his cap. So we got him as close to the ball diamond as he could get. And I think if you were at the game, a lot of people were watching him throw probably 100 yards in the air to his partner. So what a guy, what a great inspiration, and we're going to miss him here in St. John's. Shout out to Jamie Wisher and John Clark. They take care of our diamonds at the park. Those guys are always working on all the diamonds because we have two of them out there. Whether it's our high school team, JV, or junior high teams that are playing on those diamonds. So thank you to the Dalton City Department. Also, Mike Reindl, thank you for being the bus driver. He knew where every Chick-fil-A was. Only because that was our pattern. Anytime these guys wanted to get something to eat, it was Chick-fil-A. We always had to find the nearest one. So, Mike, thank you for driving our games, especially to tournament. Our ride downtown was pretty neat. I just remember, I think it was after the time, I made eye contact with Todd Schulte, and I get the so we go to the park. To the St. John's Athletic Boosters, Keith Fishbach, thank you for being our booster manager. Thank you to the boosters for taking care of all the equipment we need. Not only do these guys need baseballs, they need bats, the catcher's equipment. You're looking at J-bands that these guys use. I think we ran out of J-bands at the end of the year. There was times I think we left them late. We left them on the fence and forgot to grab them. So I know the boosters must like you. I want to just shout out to Peterson Construction for helping us get to the state tournament, helping us take care of a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, meeting the team, even to stay at the hotel. I know they're big supporters of our Blue Jay family, and thank you, Peterson. To our coaches' wives, thank you for your patience. Thank you for allowing these great guys out here to be a part of this baseball program. These guys are not only are they former players, there's about 5 of them there. Coach Sherman and Coach Smith, thank you for being a big part of our program as well. This Blue Jay family is a close knit. We appreciate that. Thank you. As I said, wife, thank you for giving, for allowing them to go out. They can't play the game anymore, but they can coach. That's how we live through baseball. To my parents, Mom and Dad, thank you. Thank you for making me a Blue Jay. True, I believe blue and gold, always will. Thank you for the support. They sit there out in the right field line in their van, especially when it's cold out. But their van has never been hit by a baseball. Me and my son, Buddy, we're always looking for that ball, find that white band somewhere, just to bounce off. But it's like I know golf tends to, with the weather time to split, but the baseball finds different directions when it's heading towards the band. So thank you. And I'll get back like that here in a little bit. I got a story to tell later. To my family. Yeah. All right. Buddy. Anna. All your husbands, Justin, Brian, Lexi, Colin, and all my grandkids. Now I'm up to 8. I had 2 of them during baseball season. Well, I didn't have them, but 2 of them were born during baseball. That was amazing to have number 7 and number 8 for us. Thank you to all the grandchildren, and especially to my close-knit family. My wife, thank you. She probably remembers the day when we were sitting there watching my son, Buddy, his freshman year of baseball. This is 2000. 14 or 15. At that time, I was just a spectator, sitting in the stand in our lawn chairs watching him play. And I told her, I said, if this position ever comes open, I want it. Now, you guys made me a state champ, so thank you guys. To our junior high coaches, 7th grade coaches, Brian Warnick, Scott McCormick, Thomas Gorman, thank you for putting the time in. I know you guys have been bouncing around between 7th and 8th grade. I know one year we were kind of rotating coaches. Our 8th grade coaches, Nate Reeves, Chris Bover, Dan Mesker. Coach Mesker, thank you for everything. He's been a big part of our baseball success here. I know he's a former varsity coach as well, and the way he loves baseball, I think we think alike. We appreciate the time that we're always together, even in football, even in basketball, baseball. I mean, I saw that. Yeah. And you were a big part of helping start the junior high program here. It's showing. So, it's a big success. Thank you. To our JV coaches, Adam Smith, thank you for your hard work and dedication. I know we've coached in the past together. Missed you a couple of years and then you're back. So thank you, and I know you're a big part of this. Now you're a Blue Jay. You work for St. John's, so we're happy to have you full time, all the time. Tony Sanders, Colin Will, and Devin Sanders. Those were our JV assistant coaches. Thank you so much. To my son, Buddy, assistant coach varsity. This guy here was always I leaned on him quite a bit during the games. Mostly because I wanted to make some decisions. Could have been the way we were throwing guys. It could have been the guy on the mound pitching. It could have been our defense. It could have been our lineup. He was always the guy that would tell me, leave it alone. Let it go. These guys play. You put them out there and let them finish. This is why we got them here. So thank you for the support, buddy. Great job. Gavin Pitro, another former player, this was his first year with us. And if you look at Buddy and Gavin, those two have taught 8 years of Blue Jay baseball. They were back-to-back 4-year starters for our Blue Jay program behind the plate. So if you guys want a 4-year ladder and you want to be a catcher, that would be the first spot I hit. So thank you, Gavin. Coach Sherman, Aaron Sherman, what an asset to have on our squad. Coaching staff. That guy there, he knows baseball inside and out. What he did this year was amazing. And what we added this year, and out of nowhere, he brings his iPad to practice. We're already hooking up. We're ready to go for the first game as well. And it's called a chart analytics. And I believe that this really helped us propel into another level. Not only did it help us, it put Gavin and Coach Sherman in constant communication with where pitches were thrown, what batters see, what they swung at, what they missed. That didn't just be on the pitching side, it was also on our offensive side. So the guys coming out of the dugout were getting ready to go out and play or go on deck. They were getting feedback from Gavin on what they saw from their previous at bat. So these guys knew a little bit about the way they were being pitched. And that was something I think it showed as the season went on, how much we improved at hitting. And and also at pitching. Pitching was phenomenal as well. So those two were they were inseparable. They didn't feel far from each other, but they were taught constantly in communication. Thank you, Coach Sherman, for bringing that on. Just to throw out some numbers here. Right now, and this is just a combination of our junior high club program that rolls into Tony. So I'm throwing out some numbers here. Right now, the 7th grade is 18-6. Our 8th grade is sitting at 15-10-1. Our JVs had a 7-11 record. And our varsity was a 21-10 season. Those numbers is 61 wins and 37 losses. What a season. And Tony is still playing, so those numbers I'm sure are still flying. Just go over the way the season started and how it ended. I want to just go through some things here. Obviously, after the boys basketball championship, they won it in that last week in March. So on March 25th, we had our team pictures. I finally got to see the whole team in uniform that day. I knew they were going to take some time off, art season. But we got our pictures taken, and that's when I dropped the bomb. I told them we had a scrimmage the next day, and I needed them all to play. That was my way of getting them to the diamond. But that scrimmage, we just went out. We wanted to see the game. We wanted it to play live. I just wanted them to see what the game of baseball was all about again. I know it sounds simple, but it's something they needed to see right away. But then Mother Nature took over. We were able to get 10 days off, which was just practice. We got these guys ready. We knew we had to build arms. So our next game was now April 6th. And then we rattle off, win there at Shawnee, we play Jefferson. Just going to kind of go over some real quick stats. That was a game Cole Clark pitched 5 innings, threw a masterpiece, 10 Ks, and Cameron had a home run, which he broke a windshield that day. Then we go to Minster. Cam and Andrew got to pitch that day. They combined, both of them threw combined 7 innings, 7 Ks, 1 earned, and we win against Minster 4-1. Walpole, Dylan had to go on the mound. We knew we needed a pitcher. He threw the best game of his life against Walpole. And we beat 7-0 through 6 innings, 5 Ks, no earned runs. So that was a heck of a start to get off to for Dylan. And we win against Elida. Then we play Clyde. Both gets the mound again. 7 innings, 7 Ks, 2 hits, 0 runs. And he only threw those 7 innings, 80 pitches. That was a heck of a game for Cole. New Knoxville get a win there. Very local. I don't want to say too much about that. Our defense fell apart that game. St. Henry, our next MAC game, came through a complete game, 3 hit, 8 Ks. We lost the game 1-0. Van Wert, that was a game that I think we threw bad in practice that day against Van Wert. We lost in 11 innings, but 7-6, but we threw 4 pitchers. It was a tough loss for us. And we win. We bring Bath comes in. They're ranked number top 5 and 4. And we see the funkiest foul ball that went fair that I've ever seen. The ball rolled 6 feet down the first base line, went foul, had enough backspin, came back up on the diamond, and landed fair right in front of the back. Just couldn't pick the ball up that time. We missed out on that, but we lost that one. And we go on to William Trace, William Parkway win. St. Mary's was a loss on a Saturday. I just don't think we played well on Saturday. And so And then the gauntlet when it comes to MAC. We had to make up some games. We had cold water, cold recovery for sales back to back. 3 consecutive days. Finished the cold water game, which was a game that was postponed and picked back up where we left off and beat them 7-3. Cold recovery was a 4-3 win in 8 innings. We scored 3 runs in the 7th to tie it. That was a great. I mean, that's when we knew we had something brewing because it was just a dogfight. And that was the game that I do remember. I do want to let you guys know that the Fort Recovery bench was taunting Cam pretty heavily. I do remember hearing them say, "Stick with basketball." And I watched Cam step off the mound, just stare at their dugout. And it was over. You poked the bear. Thank you, Fort Recovery. For sales, we knew we had to win that game. We just come up short. Just the pitching got kind of light there, and her sales just came out and hit the ball. We ended up being MAC runners up. So that was one of our goals, was try to get a MAC banner up there this year. Obviously, we fell short, but we had another prize in sight. So then we go to Lincoln, and we get beat 14-4. It wasn't a very good game. Kind of fell apart. And this is where my father comes in. Because I remember back in the day when he coached softball, he had a one-on, well, it would be a one-on-one, but he would take the team behind the dugout. And he would really tell everybody what he thought about his team and how they played. So I took our guys to center field. I said, guys, go to center field. We usually kind of work down the lines. But I remember this day when, we're all players are heading out there, the coaches are walking out there, and I hear Coach Sherman say, "Boys, go back to the dugout." So we had a good conversation, didn't we, guys? It was something I think we needed to do, not only as a team, but just as a coaching staff and player relations. We wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. It worked out great because after that discussion, we rattled off 9 wins in a row. And we played Lincoln Field again the next week, and we beat them 10-1. So something changed. I know last week Tyson kind of decided what was to be said, but he did a good job. So then we played Temple Christian in the first playoff game. Cam and Cole they threw combined 5 innings, 1 hit ball. Cam had 6 RBIs in that game, 1 home run. Jefferson was our next opponent. Cam threw 3.1 innings, Cole threw 1.2, 3 hits, 3 runs. Drake and Maddox had 4 RBIs apiece. Good job on that. Then we played Mohawk. Okay, so now we're in distance. This is where we were trying to align the stars because we needed to make sure that we had enough pitching to roll into regionals if we got there. Because on 5/28 and 5/30 would have been the district semis and semi-cup finals. And we had to turn around on June 2nd playing the regional semis. So we knew right then that we thought, okay, let's make sure we got 1 pitcher for both games, and then we'll try to cycle in our backup pitchers through the second game. But with the Mohawk, Andrew only had to throw 4 innings. Braden Lindeman threw the next 3, 2 hits, 0 earned run. Basically, the top of the order kind of carried that game. So we won that 9-0. We come back with 4 more. Okay. So we finished through that time frame, knowing that we've got Cam and Andrew now for the regional setup. Both of them can pitch in both games, and they're fully healthy. 100%. So Fort Laramie had their coach contacted me before the tournament draw. I want to know what direction we were going. I told him we were coming to the south. So thank you, Coach Howard, for guiding me to the south. I like that idea. And I thought Stephen was a nice place to play. So here we go. Fort Laramie sees Camp goes 7 innings, 5 hits, 5 Ks, 0 earned run. That was we hit from top to bottom in that lineup. That was a full, nice lineup of just scattered hits and one easy one. Then we go to the district. Now we're in the regional final against Newton. They had a real good pitcher, Alexander. We knew coming in that they were kind of lower the pitching, so were we. Andrews threw that day 7 innings. Gave up 6 hits, struck out 7, and 1 nothing. Great performance there. Top of the order. Cam had a double, triple, and Andrew had a triple that game. That scored 3 runs. So that was a victory for us. Now we're going to state. Now we got Clifton Calvert, number 1 team in the state. So we got Cam on the mound. Everybody knows he came in that night. Flew in from North Carolina. Some of us coaches waited up for him, just wanted to see him. He looked like he was tired. So he came in at 11:30. We got the team up at 6. Got him around. They ate. Next thing you know, we're on a bus, heading to Canton to play Clifton Calvert. Came through 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, and 6 Ks. The bottom of the order helped us out big that game. Bottom 5 had 7 hits. Jackson, Wiegert, and Greg Lindeman both tripled. We ended up winning 5-3. Great game. It got dicey at the end, for sure. We're proud of these guys. And then Lipsy. We knew we were in a good spot, especially after watching the game after us, as we watched Lipsy Southwestern play. And we knew that they would have the 3, 4, and 5 guys available. We had what we call number 1A and number 1B. And sure enough, Andrew threw 6 innings, 5 hits, 8 Ks, 0 runs. Everyone hit. Jackson or Maddox, a lovely walk-off. That was a dream come true. You're the man for that. You've been waiting on that for a long time. I'm so proud of you. And we're state champions. Just real quick here. I'm not taking. Just kind of. I told the guys at the beginning of the year, we had to bat 290. We wanted to give ourselves a chance to be competitive and win some meaningful games. We batted 292. At one point, about halfway through the year, I think our team was back at 240. So those last, I'm saying about a dozen games, we found a way to start putting bat on the ball and custom our swings. Lo and behold, this last 9 games, we've batted 361 as a team, scored 88 runs, 60 hits, 19 doubles, 8 triples, 3 home runs in 9 games. Amazing. Plus, to add to that, you know our batters are very patient. They will not swing at bad pitches. And they were able to get 42 walks. Wow, that's amazing. That's extra runners. Our on-base percentage was .48, and our slugging was .538 through those 9 games. Amazing. Good job, man. Go over some pitching stats. In those 9 games, our ERA was .845. On the season, we ended at 2.31. walks that hits the whip, which is if you add up your walks or hits, we were at a 1.103 for those 9 games. And we only gave up 10 points. Wow. Amazing. Cam and Andrew went 4-0 in the tournament. Jackson Weaker, we were 1-0. 7 earned runs over those 9 games. On the fielding side, what a defense. That's what built our program. That's what built the season. Our defense was solid. I know we went through some headaches trying to find the right spots, but we figured it out. We ended up just supporting our pitchers. Our pitchers trust their stuff and throw strikes, and it showed out there. I want to talk about our catcher, Greg Goodrow. I know you were a big part of our program behind the plate. AJ, you stepped up big time too behind there. Especially when he was injured there for a little bit. Drake threw out 19 runners this year. Wow. So that was a 42% percentage on runners trying to steal we would throw out. So good luck on runners trying to steal. In the tournament, threw out 5 runners, and they only stole 6 bases on us. So that's huge because our defense kept runners from one bag to another. No one ever could. It kind of keeps them from moving up extra bases. So it's how you kind of solve baseball and great scheme things, keeping everything minimal, making them earn it. It's really hard in high school to spray 3 consecutive hits together. So that kudos to making sure balls are in the outfield, they hit the cuts, they get back to the infield, keep our runners from moving up extra bags. That's the formula of success. Prove it. So I'm just kind of summarizing everything. Just proud to be here. Thanks for the support. Thanks for everything. Just glad to be a Blue Jay, glad to be part of this baseball program, and looking forward to getting after it again next year. Seniors, you're going to be missed. You guys set the bar for us. You guys, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had 17 seventh graders when they started. That's pretty close. 9 of them finished as a high school baseball player. That's amazing. Thank you, seniors. Well, just kind of reiterate, 88 runs, only giving up 10 in 9 games. Over the tournament, I think it ended up being 77 and 5 for the tournament. I know they mentioned it during our introductions, but what a run. Proud of these guys. So thankful we can take advantage. Hanging up here. So thank you for everything.
I'm a walker, so I've been walking tall. All right, so Coach A covered all the stats, so I'm not going to bore you with any stats tonight. Try to get out here at a decent time. So I have a couple stories. First, we're going to start with Mike up there, the best bus driver we could ask for. Can we give him a round of applause? So I have a couple stories about Mike. First, starting with basketball season and now leading into baseball season. Throughout tournament, we'd go get food. Always at Chick-fil-A was our go-to spot, like Coach Jay said. So on the way back, after we won regionals, won state, we'd always stand up, sing music, we'd yell at each other, talk, have a great time, and we'd stand on the seats. Mike would look in the mirror, he'd turn around, and he'd be like, "Hey guys, if you're going to stand on my seat," at that time when I heard Mike say that, I was scared to death. I was like, what is this guy going to tell us? Well, anyway, he was just, take off your shoes and have a great time. So it was an awesome experience with Mike as our bus driver. So now getting into coaches and guys here. So let's start off with our seniors. So Cam couldn't make it here as he's at Furman for basketball. Grinded it out. He had a trip back, like Coach Jay mentioned. He came back and flew in at 11:30 at night and woke up at 6:30 the next morning for the rest of our team to get breakfast, go practice before he started out. So, I mean, he put the team first, and we're grateful for him. He has deserved all of his honors and accomplishments. He was named the MVP at the state tournament, very deservable. Andrew Elber was also named all-state team as a pitcher. Brayden Lindemann going 4 for 6 in the state tournament from the plate. As a sophomore is remarkable. I mean, that's a great accomplishment. He's only going to keep getting better and better by the year. Then we have Colin Clark throwing a complete shutout against Jefferson throughout the year. Dylan Hummer, a 7-pitch inning shutout, Walk 7-0. We have Evan Martz and Hank Waffle with the best on-base percentage on the whole team. I think it was around 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. So these were our runners. They had some speed. So a story that I think is funny. So Hank Waffle, we had to write on a Google sheet one thing to be said when you come out of the tunnel. Hank Waffles was, I'm the only person on the whole team who could score from first base to home. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I don't think that's true. I think we have a couple of other quick guys who can do that as well. And then Evan Martz too, being a tall guy, super quick on the base pads, always has a smile on his face. They're both great teammates, uplifting for us. Their energy never stops. It's 24/7. Moving on to our next senior, Drake Fitro. Drake struggled from an ankle injury. He got hurt against Coldwater. He ran to first, rolled his ankle. He went down, and right then and there, I was a little scared. I saw his tears. I got sad, but I knew we had a great backup catcher with AJ Marks, and he had a hell of a 4-game stretch, 5-game stretch when Drake couldn't play. But I knew on senior night, Drake was walking out with his family, and I saw it. I looked at his eyes, and I knew it was tough for him to get through that injury, but we were playing for him to win, and we in fact did do that for him. Also, a cool thing about Drake is that kid is an energy ball. He is full of joy, goes in every day of practice, hyping us up and everything. And the coolest moment I think for him for the whole baseball season was he got a birthday home run. So it was super cool for him to experience that. So now on to our lower classmen. We have Andrew Elwer we'll start off with. I had an interview on vacation with Coach Jackson, and they asked me who I thought was the person who deserved more height than they were recognized for. My person was Andrew Elwer. He's always been in the shadow, you could say, I guess, of his brother. And Michael Hearn had a couple comments. He'd say, well, all the eyes are on Cam in basketball and baseball. Well, I think they should also share that spotlight with Andrew Elwer because he has accomplished so many things that deserve to be talked about. First thing, keep doing our state championship, complete 7 innings, didn't give up a single run. And my favorite thing about Andrew Elwer during baseball season is he shows more aggression, more emotion than he does on the basketball court. He shows a lot more on the baseball field. His celebrations, his attitude, the grit he shows, I love seeing it. So now, on to our other lower classmen. We have Logan Duncan. Logan Duncan has the most power I've ever seen in a baseball player ever. This kid will hit something on the handle and it's going to go to the fence. It's crazy to see. Granted, yes, he's a slower runner, but we still love him. Logan Duncan, in our semifinal game, had a huge hit to the right side. And we're jumping, hopping on the fence, yelling for him to go home, get an inside the park home run. He only made it to third, but it's okay. Also at first base too, filling the shoes of TJ Wertz. He did a heck of a job too there. I mean, he grew throughout the season. We were struggling a little bit with the low picks or high balls, getting used to playing that position, but he got better day by day, just like everyone else did. So now, on to Jackson Weaker. Jackson, gotta love the kid. He's a spark plug for our team. He gets us going. I love his emotion both in basketball and baseball. He's always high-spirited, and he's also one of those guys, too, who helped us get through the state semifinal game, coming in clutch with a triple and a base knock, too, as well. Aiden Swick, I have a funny story about Aiden Swick, too, as well. So, in my interview with Michael Hearn and Coach Bay, they asked, who am I the most afraid of when they get an interview to talk? And my person was Aiden Swick. No harm, no hurt against Aiden Swick, but sometimes I don't know what he's going to say, but he has the kindest heart on the team. Now on to our coaches. Starting with Coach Jay. Coach Jay's been around for a while. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Couple more guys. Alright, start off with Maddox. Great story about him. So in the state finals game, I had a lot of people come up to me after, days after, whatever. They asked me, they were like, Tice, you had the opportunity in the bottom of the fifth inning to put the game away, bases loaded, 2 outs, and I didn't get it done. I hit it decent to the right fielder, but at that moment I knew it wasn't my time, it wasn't my moment, but I'm so glad it was Maddox. Another senior, another hard worker. He's his toughest critic, and he got that walk-off hit. It was the best way to end the senior year. Another thing about Maddox, too, is he's one of the best teammates there is on the team. He pushes and shoves us up around. He always gets us rowdy, energetic, and we joke around. He's always like, all right, coach, in practice when we're doing drills and stuff, he's like, I don't need to be out here, I'm our DH. It is nice to have you out there in our field, just to have you biased. So now moving on to our coaches, starting with Coach Jackson. Coach Jackson and I have built our relationship over the last 4 years. So I started off my freshman year, I played a couple JV games, went up to Coach Jackson. I felt confident in myself with skill and talent. I just asked him to give me a chance. Well, he believed in me, gave me a chance, and I kept on building, got varsity letters all 4 years with him, just because he put trust in me and confidence. And a quote that he said, he always says, the best teams are player-led teams, not coaches-led. So he said he'd put up a lineup for the game, he'll coach third base, and he would rely on us for the rest. So it was so nice to get the job done, win a state championship for Coach Jackson. So can we do a round of applause? On to Coach Sherman. Coach Sherman, like Coach Gray said, is a big asset to our team. So happy to have him. He came here 2 years ago. So my junior year was the first year that we had him. And I mean, he knows baseball in and out. He knows it on a deeper level. We knew we had the key to success with our program, but we needed one more piece, and that was him. He taught us so many things, not only mechanically, but as a person, a human being, a player. And the key thing that he would say is live for the next day. So throughout tournament time, when we had a drought in our season, we were struggling, couldn't find we started off the season hot 7-0, and then we couldn't find time to win. And we were down on ourselves, we were struggling, but Coach Sherman always had the best speeches at the end of practice and games to keep us pushing forward, live for the next day. So he did exactly that, and we're so thankful for him. I'm going to put Gavin and Devin Sanders together. So these are two younger guys who have been through the system in and out. And so Gavin's my guy when it comes to analytics, statistics, pitchers' tendencies, anything going on. He runs the iPad and everything for pitches, outs, strikes, and then we also have Devin here who coached our Acme team this past summer when we made it to state. He did a great job. I mean, I always joke around with Gavin, saying it's his first season, and in his first season of coaching and only season, he got a state championship. So I think he might go down as one of the best coaches in St. John's history. Then we have Coach Sanders, Tony Sanders. My biggest believer. He's been a huge role model for me throughout my baseball career. He was my JV coach. as I was a freshman for a bit, and he never stopped believing in me. He would always uplift me. He'd be our positive mindset guy. He'd come into practice with barely any sleep, 2 cups of coffee, ready to go and get after it. Now moving on to Buddy Jackson. So Buddy Jackson was our game changer guy. He would do a lot of our stats and analytics too as well. So give it up for Buddy because he was a huge key part, just like Coach Jay said. Any in-game decisions, he'd go to him, whether he needed help, what pitchers we should put in, send guys out to the bullpen. Coach Buddy Jay was a huge part of that. Down to our last 2, Coach Colin Will and Coach Smith. So I'm going to start with Coach Colin. So Coach Colin, actually, I would always tell him every game, Coach Colin, can you please put on a jersey and be our intimidation factor against other people because he's so big. Strong. That's in a good way. Coach Colin was always there. He did a lot of our catcher stats for other teams. He would write down some key things for when running bases and stealing tendencies and tendencies of pitchers and stuff like that. So he had a huge role for us. And now moving into Coach Smith. Coach Smith was our big stats guy. He would come into practice spending hours on spray charts, pregame plans and everything, what we need to do, team's tendencies, team's records, strength of schedules, and everything. He helped us get prepared for every single game. So thanks to those 2 guys. And one last thank you to the fans, my parents, and everything. So I have a little unique story. So every night before I go to bed, my parents always pray over me. And last night my mom asked me, she said, Tice, are you happy you came to St. John's? For sure, 100%. Best thing I ever, the best decision I've ever made in my life. So I came over in 7th grade. So I've been here for a while. I went to St. Mary's of the Assumption in Van Wert, and I had some fellow teachers, principal, Mr. Metzger, who was pushing me over to come to St. John's after I got done with St. Mary's. And it's the best thing. I'm so glad he did that because it's the best thing I've ever done. So I'm so grateful for these guys. I just want to say thank you again. And then also we always do this thing that we started on New York on our bus ride with Mr. Newell. I just want to give St. John's one last hell yeah. Thank you.
So, one player did not get talked about that whole thing. So Tyson McClain was our leadoff batter. Pretty much an automatic hit when he was on. Played second base, made all kinds of crazy plays, great plays. You talk about some of the other guys, big energy guys, but I've been in enough games. You were always in the game, in your teammates, in the dugout, heading out to take the field. You were always somebody that was talking and giving a great lead. So kind of forgot me. Talk about yourself. I know you well enough, but somebody need to say it. Tyson McClain. So with that, we're closing again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for cheering on the Blue Jays and being just great supporters of what these young men and women did. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations, Lila. This is something that will never, ever be taken away from it. It's a great way to finish off an outstanding sports season for Delta St. John's. Just very proud of you guys and what you put into. So thank you very much. Our athletes will be hanging around for a while, so if you would like to talk to them or have something for them to sign, they will be here. But again, thank you very much. Go Jays.